Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Greetings to Associate Professor Dr. Sakinah Ali PJ, Deputy Dean, Students Affairs and Alumni of FST, lecturers and staff and student present. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning I bid to everyone. To call for blessing upon this program, I would love to invite Brother Eddie Haikal bin Asmawi to lead our recitation of dua. Welcome. Eddie Haikal, are you there?
Boleh dengar kan?
Ya, boleh.
Boleh. Kita mulakan dengan Al-Fatihah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم إنك خالق العظيم، إنك سميع عليم، إنك غفور رحيم، إنك رب العرش العظيم. Ya Allah, Engkaulah yang mempunyai segala kepujian. Engkaulah yang berhak menerima segala kesyukuran. Engkaulah yang memiliki segala pemerintahan. Kepada Engkau jualah kembali segala urusan. Selawat dan salam ke atas junjungan besar Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ahli keluarga baginda serta para sahabat dan bagi mereka yang mengikuti teladannya. Allahumma ya Rahim ya Karim. Cucurilah rahmatmu ke atas majlis pengkongsian ilmu CAREERFAST 3.0 yang diadakan pada hari ini, ya Allah. Berkatilah perjalanannya dari awal hingga ke akhir. Kami juga memohon kepadamu, ya Allah, jadikanlah kami di antara orang-orang yang memanfaatkan ilmu yang diperolehi. Hindarilah kami dari segala perkara yang melalaikan kami dari berbuat taat kepadamu, ya Allah. Ya fa'alul lima yurid. Kami mohon perlindunganmu dari segala perkara yang boleh mencacat celakan majlis ini, serta hindarilah kami dari sebarang masalah mahupun musibah. Kepadamu juga kami serah segala urusan kami. Rabbana alaika tawakkalna wa ilaika anabna wa ilaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin, amin, amin ya rabbal alamin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Eddie Haikal bin Asmawi, for the beautiful recitation of dua. Next, we move to our session, which is on slot 1. Welcome to slot 1. Know yourself and brand yourself. Before we invite our panel for the first slot, I would like to share a brief information regarding our first panel for today, who is none other than Ms. Liana Aziz. Ms. Liana held the current position of Head of Talent Acquisition, Employer Branding and HR Business Partner in FWD Takaful Berhad. She started her career in financial industries where she specializes in employer branding, talent acquisition, transformation projects and business partnering. She also has 15 years of experience in the human resource field. Before that, she successfully graduated in Business Administration International Business from Multimedia University. Without further delay, I welcome Ms. Liana Aziz to begin her sharing. With all due respect, welcome.
Thank you so much, Afiq Daniel. Very good morning to every one of you. Let me just share my screen first and let me know once you guys can see it, okay? All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, Ms. Liana.
Okay, cool. So before I begin, this is something that I would like all the students to wonder and also to think about, yeah? So when it comes to any career talk session or any learning sessions that you guys went through or register, please take note that it's good if, let's say, you guys can participate or contribute during the discussion, because in doing so, then you guys will be able to get something from that particular session instead of just listening to it without participating, okay? So what I want today is basically to bridge the gap between you guys and also between us from the employer point of view. Example, sometimes we wouldn't know what are the things that you guys understand or don't understand when it comes to employment. So it's better for you guys to be open and ask questions so that we know how to tackle those particular issues from your end. Okay, so what are we going to go through today is basically icebreaking. So your icebreaking is something related to know yourself, right? After that, I'm going to touch a bit on the post-COVID-19 employment trends so that you guys know what is actually happening nowadays. After that, I move on to the top soft skills and also digital skills, which is what are the things that you guys can take as a certification or additional on top of your education. And then after that, we're going to move on to brand yourself in terms of how to rock your social media. It can be from your LinkedIn profile or even your resume and so on. Okay, after that, I'm moving on to the interview tips as well as FWD Takaful job opportunities and questions and answers. Okay, so during the session, if let's say any one of you would like to ask anything, just feel free to unmute yourself and let me know your questions. Okay, so for icebreaking sessions, what I need you guys to do is basically take a piece of paper and pen now, right? And this particular icebreaking will only last for 10 minutes since we need to cover so many things later on. All right, so once you have your paper and pen ready, take note that you will see this particular 10 questions all together. Okay, let me just put a pointer first. All right, so on all of these 10 questions, right? For example, number 1, okay? You need to choose either 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So between likes authority, enthusiastic, sensitive feelings, or likes instructions, you think 4 will be the best word or best behaviors that actually describe you. Okay, 3 will be the next one, 2, and also 1 will be the least describe you. So for an example, like I mentioned just now, right? If let's say you think that yes, between likes authority or enthusiastics, you are more into enthusiastics, that's your natural behavior or natural character, then you put 4. Then second to enthusiastics, what is it? So it's likes authority, and then sensitive feelings, last but not least is likes instruction. Okay, and then you have to keep track on your scores. Remember, yeah, when it comes to the questionnaire, please make sure that you answer in a horizontal manner. So between these 4, the most likely like your behavior or your personality, you put 4. Second to that, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you shouldn't leave any columns blank over here. All right. So once that is done, what you can do is you have to calculate your total score based on the vertical column. So for an example, this one you put 4, 3, 2, and so on. After that, you calculate on all this particular first column, what's your score, second column, third column, and also fourth column, right? So whichever scores the highest, paling tinggi, you guys just circle that particular column, and I'll get you guys to show your face and also unmute yourself once I call the personality, because at the end of the session we're going to learn the first vertical column belongs to which personality. Okay, second vertical column belongs to which personality, what are the goods and bad things about their behaviors and how to manage them. Okay, all right, so everyone clear? Okay, 10 minutes. I'm not going to put any music and so on so that you guys can focus. Okay. All right, 10 minutes. If you have any questions, let us know. And for those who just tuned in, the one that you can see on your screen is basically what we call as the basic personality test. So what you need to do is based on horizontal line questions, okay, whichever close to you, you put 4. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the closest personality or your behavior. 3 will be the second best personality. Third will be your third kind of personality. And 1 usually is something that you don't really do or portray or behave. Okay, right? So once you are done, you have to total the score based on the vertical column. There's 4 columns altogether, right? So total up the score based on the vertical column and circle those where you are the highest. 7 minutes to go. Score the one that you, like circle the one that you scored the highest, and there will be incidents whereby you have 2 scores, same scores, which is actually the highest. So once you have that, you just let me know. Then I'll ask you a few questions so that I know which one is actually your core personality. Okay? So those who are done, there's a thumbs up icon over there at your teams. So you can just click it. So at least I know how many % of you are done. Okay, we have 3 minutes to go. I hope you're ready at question 8 or 10, maybe 9. For those who are still at question 3 or 4, do speed up, yeah?
Sorry for interrupting you, Ms. Liana.
Yes.
We have a question on in the chat box from Dr. Sakina Ali BJ.
Yeah.
She asked that can you share the current slide with us on the chat box? Is it okay? Or?
current slide. Okay. When it comes to current slide, we can't share because this is actually the ownership is from FWD Takafu. So, but do let me know if let's say there's certain areas that you guys wanted to know or wanted to have slides or maybe information, then I'll put it in email. I hope that will do.
All right. Easy to note. Okay. Thank you.
No questions from the students?
For now, no.
No, no worries. So while you guys are finishing up your questionnaires, I may have certain things to say. I know sometimes it's kind of tiring to have this kind of session during Saturday and Sunday, and you guys feel like, okay, I just want to relax, I just want to sleep more and so on. But do take note that this is actually part and parcel of you learning about something. So comparing with those who don't have any, like free sessions conducted by the universities, right? Compared to you guys who has the opportunity to learn more today. So do look at that particular angle or point of view. Okay, all right. Okay, 55 seconds to go. Like I said, do circle those that you scored the highest. Okay, and for those who has two scores highest, the same column or maybe different column, you just let me know because I will need to ask you certain questions for me to know which is actually your core personality. Right? Doesn't mean that if let's say you scored highest in two columns, you have a split personality, such a thing, but nothing related to that. It's just that you will have your main core personality and also your minor core personality. Okay, all right. So this will be the first column. If let's say I called later on, who scored the highest on the first column, so you guys can just unmute yourself and also share your video. Okay. Or on your camera, not share your video, sorry. And then second column, third column, and also fourth column. Okay. All right. Okay, so we are done. Okay. So I can't see the screen. The organizer helped me to just point out whoever that actually switching on their camera and also unmute themselves. Yeah. Okay. So now, for those who scored the high. Okay, before we go into that, any one of you scored highest in two columns? Is there anyone who scored highest on the two column? Maksudnya you dapat markah yang paling tinggi tapi dua-dua sama. Contohnya 17 and then sebelah tu pun 17. Any one of you? Ada tak? Okay, I'm assuming there's none. Alright. So for the one who scored the highest on the first column, the first vertical column, appreciate if let's say you can show yourself or switch on your camera so that the rest of your colleagues or maybe your classmate would know what kind of personality you're having. Okay, let's participate. So for those who scored the highest on the first column, would appreciate if you guys can switch on your camera. There should be some of you who actually scored highest on the first column. There you go. Hi, Farah. Thank you for being the first to switch on your camera. That's great. Okay, what about the rest? It's just only Farah who scored the highest on the first column? Only Farah, is it? Okay, for those who are shy, okay, I do understand that you guys are shy. You guys will see this particular icon over here. What you guys can do, you guys can just click here, the raise hand, so that at least I know how many of you guys are in the first column. The moment you understand or you know about, like what is the first column all about, then you'll be very surprised and also feel rugi tak buka camera. Okay, all right. So I see 2, 3, only 3. Anyone else? Ah, Dr. Sakina. Okay, hi. First column as well. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so let's not waste the time. So I think there's only 4 of you guys are here. Okay, so if let's say you're wondering who are they actually and what kind of personality are they carrying, so let me introduce you to the future CEO. These are all the faces of the future CEO, or what we call as a natural born leader. Okay, so the positive side about them, about those people who's having this particular personality, all right, like I said, they're natural born leader. They are very independent, dominant, and also a bit direct when it comes to their feedback to you. All right, they are a risk taker, self-starter, persistent, efficient, enjoys challenges. All those kind of CEO personalities actually with them. All right, but do take note, they also have the side effect, or I would call the negative part of it. All right, so when they are natural born leaders, self-starter, persistent, and so on, they tend to be a little bit impatient in getting things done. Right, and when they are direct, they tend to be very blunt. Okay, example, you will see this type of personality, instead of they tell you that, okay, you don't really look nice, maybe you can change your lipstick ke apa ke, they'll just go saying that, okay, your lipstick does not suit you, as simple as that. Okay, they are very blunt and also direct. They tend to become a poor listener because they only focus on the end goal, right? What they want to do, what they want to efficiency, and so on. Okay, and sometimes they can be a little bit demanding, and they can be insensitive. So if let's say you have any problems you would like to share with them, I would suggest don't share with Lion, because they are a little bit insensitive. They more like, why are you so sad over your example? Okay, since I need to relate to you guys, can, okay, why are you so sad over your breakup? You can just move on and so on. So normally that's how they handle the listening part. Okay, and they are easily annoyed, especially when things are a little bit routine. Okay, example, doing the same thing every single day, so they tend to be easily annoyed. And like I said, they view targets more important than people. Example, if let's say there's 5 of you in a boat, this particular lion, all right, if let's say you need to kick out one person in order for you to maintain the boat, then this type of personality will do so. Okay, so how to handle them? Okay, this is basically for you to learn about yourself, yeah, like Dr. Sakina and also Farah just now. What are the positive things about you? What are the negative things about you? For the rest of you guys who are here, who's actually watching them now, how to handle them? This is very important. Okay, when it comes to lion personality, you have to ensure that you let them talk first and get straight to the point. Okay, instead of you give them the grandmother story example, okay, I need your approval on this one, but this ada issue, itu ada issue, no need. Just get straight to the point. Okay, this is the background, this is the issue, and I need your decision, either A or B. Okay, with facts. So that's normally how you handle lion, or how you handle your CEO. Okay, and then don't waste their time. That's very important, and few others. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you so much, guys. You can switch off your camera now. Okay. Second personality, second column, the score the highest. I would appreciate if, let's say, you can switch on your camera. Anyone else on the second column? Oh, Farah, it's you again. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. Since you also scored the highest on the second column, okay. When it comes to, let me just ask a question, yeah. When it comes to certain events, right? Are you the one that will first approach people, or you just wait and see how's the situation? Example, kalau ramai orang tegur, dan baru you pergi tegur. Ke you are the one who start the thing?
Saya yang akan start dulu.
Sorry, you are the one who start the conversation?
Yes.
Okay. So meaning to say, right, your core personality is actually this one, the one that I'm going to explain. Okay. For the rest, if let's say you guys are a bit shy, like I said, there's this particular icon. You guys can just raise your hand for those second column punya highest personality. Okay, we have Wafa, we have few others. Okay, let's just proceed, yeah. Okay, second personality. Let's welcome our entertainer. Okay, so second, if let's say you scored the highest on the second column, you are basically a peacock personality. Okay, so I need to move fast because we only have few minutes to go. So the positive side about peacock is they are very outgoing. Okay, they are very dramatic sometimes. Okay, example, let's say they saw like certain situation, accident ke apa, sebarang accident tu biasa je, but when they talk to you, they will add more garam. Okay, example, oh just now accident, kita terbalik, pusing-pusing and so on. That's them. Okay, but they are good communicator. That's one thing, right? And they are fun-loving, meaning to say these are the people that you like to be with because they are so high, outgoing, and then fun personality and so on. And they can be also motivational and also inspirational. So sometimes you would like some ideas or you like some advice, you will always go to peacock. Okay, and they have this kind of influencing punya natural punya instinct. So meaning to say whatever they say, whatever they ask certain people to do, people will just listen to it. Okay, but the negative side of them, right? Like I said, when they are too dramatic, sometimes they can be unrealistic. Right, when it comes to their ideas atau the way they share the stories and so on. And this peacock personality, because they are too hype, kan, they tend to be forgetful. Example, you will always see this kind of personality. Kalau you pergi event, there will be someone who just go like, hi everyone, hi, 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 okay. And then after 30 minutes, dia pergi lagi dekat you, dia lupa yang dia dah cakap dengan you. So dia akan cakap lagi, hi, what's your name? Macam tu. So these are all the peacock personality. And because of their fun-loving, good communicator, dia tak kisah, kiranya macam relax je. So they are very disorganized sometimes, okay. And this type of people, they listen to feelings above logic. Walaupun benda tu tak logic, because they are too like fun-loving and so on, they tend to forget whether that thing is logic or not. Okay, because dia kesian dekat you, they still tolong je. Macam tu, right? And they can be too talkative sometimes, and senang kalau nak tahu, diorang ni kategori mudah terhibur, as simple as that. Okay, so how to handle them? Okay, first, this type of personality, they would appreciate if let's say you talk something about their appearance. So if let's say you see that, okay, pen dia cantik ke, dia cantik today ke, baju dia kemas ke, you have to tell them, they appreciate that. With lion don't like public punya recognition. Example, if let's say that particular lion achieve something, they don't like if let's say you guys go and tell the entire world. Okay, but peacock, yes, the moment they achieve sikit je pun, you need to tell the entire world. Kalau you tak tell the entire world, they feel like a bit demotivated. Okay, and with this type of people, you have to talk less but provide more reminders. Okay, example, I give you a layman terms. You nak pergi tengok wayang. You ada kawan yang lion, you ada kawan yang peacock. Dengan lion, you kena get straight to the point. Besok, once a walk, pukul 2, kita punya movie. Okay. When it comes to peacock, since they tend to be forgetful, the moment you cakap, okay, besok kita tengok wayang. Belum you habis cakap, dia dah, oh, best ni, cerita apa. So what you need to do is, tak apa, besok jumpa. So pagi tu, hari ni, contohnya, you bagi reminder lagi kat diorang. Jangan lupa, sekejap lagi pukul 2. Okay, so that's how you handle peacock personality. Alright, talk less but provide reminders. Okay, so sorry, dah tekan terus. Okay, the third column, siapa yang scored the highest? Do switch on your camera or just raise your hand. Okay, third column. Oh, Afiq dia. Okay, alright. Oh, ramai third column untuk this particular session. Hi Inshira. Okay. Wow, ramai betul. Okay, alright. So the third column, talking about your personality, okay? Let me introduce to your best future husband and also future wife, okay? Why I said so, okay? For those personality, first of all, look at this. These are the type of person where we say sejuk je. Macam tu, sejuk je tengok dia. Because they are very loyal, they are very soft-hearted, memang betul-betul lembut. They are very patient, super patient, okay? Very easygoing and they tend to become a good team player. Maksudnya kalau you nak suruh diorang buat something, they will do it. Okay, but if let's say you get them to lead something, untuk lead the project ke apa, they can't do it. Basically, that's their personality lah, okay? And they have high empathy. Meaning to say dia cepat kesian dekat orang. So for those yang tengah on camera ni, do think about it. Is it betul tak dia punya personality? Kalau tak betul, maksudnya tadi tu you salah jawab soalan. Okay? Alright? And then they are very caring and also supportive. So the negative side about them is because of they are very patient, easygoing, they tend to be indecisive. Meaning to say, you nak tengok movie, you jangan tanya diorang nak tengok movie apa. Sampai besok pun you tak akan dapat tahu punya. Because they are very indecisive. They will think about, I nak tengok ni. Tapi nanti kawan A tak suka, kawan B tak suka. They have that kind of tendency. Okay. And they may sacrifice result because of the sake of harmony. Example macam tadi saya cakap, lion. Kalau dalam boat 4 orang, dia akan tendang je seorang untuk selamatkan semua kan. But this type of personality, diorang yang akan terjun dulu. Okay. Sendiri, what we call volunteer themselves, okay, for the sake of harmony. And because of their indecisive, loyal, patient and so on, they tend to be a bit slow when it comes to decision making or anything that you want them to do, okay. Alright, and then they avoid confrontation. Diorang tak suka bila you confront diorang. Example, hey, I heard you said something about me behind my back. They don't like that kind of confrontation, okay. Contoh lah, kalau askar kan ramai-ramai, okay, let's besok pergi perang. Yang ni akan lari dulu, as simple as that, okay. And then take note, even though I said that they are a good future husband, also future wife, or a good team player for you, if let's say one day you're a boss, okay. Take note that even though they are quiet and those kind of things, they tend to hold grudge. So this is the danger part, okay. And they fear change. So kalau you nak diorang buat something, you have to tell them, okay, this is what you need to do. In the next 1 week, benda tu kena sama. Kalau you tukar dalam masa 5 minit ke 10 minit ke untuk suruh dia buat benda-benda lain, dia akan jadi anxiety attack. Okay, alright. So how to handle this type of personality, right? So you know that they are very loyal, soft-hearted and so on. When it comes to your gift to them, example you nak bagi diorang barang, you jangan just bagi phone ataupun pen. You bagi something yang ada diorang punya nama. Example, you embroider those particular items, then they will appreciate more. Okay, you need to personalize your gift. They like those personalization punya gift. Okay, and when it comes to them, you need to deal in harmonization. Example, as a future leader, if let's say you yourself as future leader, right, those who scored the highest during Lion personality just now. When it comes to your team, if let's say you have someone with this particular dove personality, you know the fact that your team is having an issue, okay, you don't call them first. You call the rest of the personality first to tell them what's the issue. Once you find the solution, then only you call this particular personality, which is dove. Right? If not, you will see their anxiety, then they tend to take MCs and so on because they fear change. Okay? Right? And then explain slowly. Okay, this type of personality, they are very like relax, laid back and so on. So you explain slowly kalau you nak suruh dia buat something. Contohnya, okay, I nak minta you tolong ni. Okay, so in order for you to tolong me untuk this one, you buat A dulu, lepas tu B, lepas tu C, D. Macam tu. Okay? Alright, cool. Alright, so last one. Thank you so much for the rest, Afiq, Insyirah and the rest. Okay, last personality. Do you mind to switch on your camera or just raise up your hand? Insyirah, both to score highest eh? Okay, cool. Okay, if let's say given a chance for you to ada project yang berkenaan dengan, okay, senanglah soalan I direct. You suka numbers ke you tak suka numbers?
I suka numbers.
You suka numbers. So sebenarnya ni you punya core personality, bukan yang tadi. Tadi tu you punya sub personality. Okay, cool. So we have Fidul Hakim, we have few others. Okay, let's move on fast. Okay, last but not least personality. I think this one is actually the highest code untuk this class. Oh no, the third one. Okay, alright. So last but not least, but you guys are from science stream kan? Actuarial, right? Ke campur-campur ni?
Campur-campur.
Campur-campur. Okay, no wonder. Because if let's say it's actuarial, normally it's this particular personality. Okay, last but not least is basically owl. Okay, so owl personality, they are very, very related to numbers. Okay, they are mostly this personality are those actuaries and then IT people or maybe engineers. They are always in this particular character. Okay, their positive thing about themselves is they are very accurate. So this one, kalau you pinjam RM10, you jangan bayar RM9.5. Diorang tak suka. You kena bayar RM10 juga. Okay, and then they are very analytical, detail oriented. So this one is totally detail oriented. You jangan bagi diorang half cook punya benda because they will look at all angle. Okay, they have high standards, they are very controlled and they have this thing whereby, okay, kalau lion personality, I don't care whether it's a fact or not fact as long as I want to reach that particular goal. Untuk owl, they will say no, cannot, you have to follow the book, you have to follow the facts. So that's basically the positive thing about them. Okay, and this owl cannot ngam with lion. Okay, there's one clash personality, we call it as clash personality, right? It's basically owl and also lion, usually. Okay, so the negative thing about them, these are the group of people who has the high tendency to get depression. Okay, when I said that, it's because of the fact that when they have too high standards, okay, not just for their friends but also for themselves, they ada high standard untuk diri sendiri, they tend to be too critical on themselves or too hard and also on others as well. Dia macam tak boleh accept kalau you punya karakter macam tu. Okay, so these are the type of people. If let's say you guys agree, I tengok ada yang senyum, ada yang tak. So ini you yourself understand and acknowledge that. Okay, and they are very perfectionist. Okay, overly cautious. Okay, this is what we call as overthinking. So when it comes to this particular personality, right, they tend to make slow decision as well because they tend to overthink. Contoh, okay, when we go to example, okay, when you guys want to submit a project, okay, they will be the one that yang cakap, jangan submit lagi lah, ada benda kot boleh tukar, ada ni kot boleh buat, ada tu kot boleh buat. So they are those like overly thinking. Okay, alright. So tips to handle them. Okay, tadi lion, you have to talk less. Dengan owl pun you have to talk less. Tapi dengan lion tadi, you talk less and provide few facts. Okay, when you handle owl, you have to talk less but you have to provide accurate facts. That will be the difference. Okay, and then avoid putting pressure on them, especially on the deadlines. It's not because they are slow like dove just now. It's just that they are overthinkers. So they wanted to see all things to make sure everything is good, everything is well, then only they pass the thing to you. Okay. And then with them, you need to provide proper planning. Example, I give the same example like the layman term just now, nak tengok wayang. Okay, jangan cakap dengan diorang macam tu kan. Macam esok kat Wang Sewak, jangan. Dengan diorang ni, you kena ada proper planning. Contoh, esok pukul 2 tengok wayang. Pukul 10 kau boleh siap, pukul 12 kau boleh parking kat side A supaya senang sikit naik kat tempat wayang tu. Macam tu. This is how you handle our punya personality. Okay? Alright? So for those who shared, for those who switch on your video, thank you so much. Okay? And for the rest, I hope siapa yang masuk lambat ke apa is okay. Maybe I'll share this one with your lecturers later on so that you guys can do it at your end. Okay, so you guys must be wondering, why is Liana talking about all this personality and so on? Okay, why? Okay. This is the topic about know yourself, correct? So self-realization is very important for you to understand and also to develop yourself. You will face this kind of questions during interview session. Example, what do you think about yourself? What is your strength? What is your areas of improvement? So once you know what's your core personality, it's easier for you to tell them. Example, yes, I can lead a team, but then again, I do have things that I need to improve, which is my impatience. Okay, example. So compared to someone, example, interviewer tanya, okay, candidate B, what's your strength and also areas of improvement? You just say, oh, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, but there's no fact, right? The interviewer will think that, okay, meaning to say you don't realize on yourself punya strength and awareness yet compared to you guys yang tahu and jawab in that particular manner. Okay, so overall, emotional intelligence is very, very important. Emotional intelligence is basically for you to understand yourself and also for you to understand others. Okay, example, your ability to perceive and also express emotions, to understand and also to use them. Example just now kan, how to handle them and so on. Okay, and manage your emotions in oneself and also other people. So emotional intelligence is basically the key. All right. So if let's say you don't have a strong emotional intelligence, then it's very, very difficult for you to work with others or also work with yourself. Okay. All right. So whatever that I've given to you, the 4 basic personality is what we call as core personality. Okay, core personality tu maksudnya mana-mana jenis personality test yang you guys buat, it will always end up to this 4 basic one. So that's the reason why I ajar on the 4 basic one. But if let's say you guys would like to know more about yourself, okay, there's a lot of personality tests that's actually available in Google. You can just type, ada yang Star Wars punya character, ada this, ada that. But the best is if let's say you want to put this particular personality type or personality characteristic in your CV, then I would suggest you use this particular 16 personalities. These are very famous and widely used. Meaning to say the moment you letak kat you punya resume, personality type apa-apa, people will know already that you understand yourself better. So kalau tadi I bagi kat you guys tu very basic in terms of your positive, negative side of it. You try to take this particular test, then they will tell you a little bit more. Example, when it comes to your happy mood, what is your personality? When it comes to your stress, if let's say you are under stress, how will your personality or behaviors react? Okay, all right. Again, it's always going back to the 4 personality. You see, let's look at it together. Okay. Analyst, you have high intuitive and also thinking. This is what we call as owl. Okay. Diplomats is what we call as lion. Sentinels is dove. Explorers is basically the entertainer. Okay. It's always coming back to the 4 basic personality. Tapi ini lebih detail. Example, yes, you're entertainer, but what kind of entertainer are you? So yes, you are a leader, lion, but what kind of lion are you? Okay. All right. So I'll get the organizer to share the URL in your chat box so that you guys can do it later. Okay? All right, moving on. So what is the post-COVID-19 employment trends? You would like to know, right? Okay, since COVID-19, what are the things that is actually changing? What are the things that the employees are looking at and so on? And do take note, students, I'm here today not just from FWD Takapu, but I'm also talking about the overall recruitment that's actually happening in Malaysia. Okay, so nowadays you'll see that because of the post-COVID-19 and so on, the jobs available are very, very limited. Okay, there will be a lot of people who are impacted by the job. They don't have a job and limited job available in the market. So my advice to you is don't be choosy at this point of time. When I said don't be choosy, if let's say that particular offer that you have is only a contract for 3 months or 6 months, just grab it first. Okay, at least you have some sort of working experience over there. Okay, and like I said, this one is the same thing that I'm talking about just now. Most organizations will not have a permanent role for now. All right, what they're going to do is they're just going to give like a contract or temporary benefits. Okay, and then most of the organizations are having this particular remote working because they wanted to save costs. Okay, but the danger of the remote working is you guys are expected to work, consider like a 24/7 lah, because you guys are working from home. So that's basically the danger of it, and that's the usual thing. So if let's say you have like any family members, even your parents, even your siblings, you will see that they've been working every single time. Macam lepas makan malam je masih kerja. It's because of that. Okay, and then there will be new jobs that's actually growing in demand. It's because of the COVID-19, these particular jobs are now growing in demand. So robotic engineers, I don't know whether you guys have or not in this particular session, for those who has this kind of experience. Solar installers, information security analysts, offshore engineers, and also software developers. So if let's say you guys are coming from IT background and you guys are taking the computer science, right, do take additional certificates for software ke ataupun information security analyst. Right? Okay? Cool. So what would be the must-have soft skills and also digital skills that is actually needed nowadays? Before I go into that particular angle, I'm just going to talk about the issues coming from the graduates, which was agreed by most of the organization. Okay, so first of all, personality-wise, okay, issues coming from fresh graduate is normal. Some of you guys are a bit choosy when it comes to the job. Nak yang dekat dengan rumah, nak yang gaji 4,000 terus, those kind of things. Okay, so that's basically your issue nowadays. Alright, and you guys don't attend career fair ataupun career talk for you to learn more. You guys just thought that, okay, tak payah join. Whenever it comes to job vacancy, just apply. Without knowing there's a way for you to be considered or be in the top 5 instead of you just click apply. Okay, and you guys don't have the courage, scared to approach employers. Like example, like today, very shy to switch on your camera, very shy to ask questions and so on. Okay, and then in terms of the job application, okay, this is where I'm going to touch a little bit more on this one. Okay, you guys tend to have a traditional resume. Lepas tu kalau satu gang, jom kita apply position ni, semua santar sekali serentak. But from recruiter point of view, bila kita orang buka kita punya career mailbox, kita orang tengok semua CV tu sama. Yang berbeza gambar, nama and also few other details. So it's not really good to do so. Okay, alright, you need to be extraordinary. Alright, your resume need to be extraordinary for the recruiter to consider your CV. Okay, when it comes to people like us at the back end, right, we receive thousands of CVs every single day. So you need to have that kind of extraordinary punya concept of resume so that we can straight away consider your CV, because the time spent, to be honest, the time spent, recruiter spend time to look at your CV to shortlist is just less than 5 seconds. So you need that particular 5 seconds for you to grab their attention. So how? I'll tell you later. Okay, all right. Okay, this one I'll just skip. Those things that are not important, I'll just skip, yeah, because we have limited time. Okay, so top 10 soft skills that's actually needed nowadays for every fresh graduate. Okay, so you need to have effective interpersonal skills. So effective interpersonal skills is basically talking about the emotional intelligence just now. So when you answer, when it comes to your interview session, you should answer in that manner. Okay, when it comes to your strength, areas of improvement, so that they know that you can communicate well, you know what is emotional intelligence all about. Okay, and then the rest are, like I said, team player and so on. But there's also digital skills that's actually needed nowadays. Meaning to say you have to have this. If let's say you don't have this, then you will not even be considered. Okay, even though you're coming from actuarial ke, IT ke, you need to at least have this particular digital marketing ataupun social media punya skills. So if let's say you ask me, Liana, how can I have this kind of skills, right? So if let's say you don't have the money to take certification, that is actually paid certification, not to worry. Okay, in LinkedIn, for those who has LinkedIn, right, there's always a free training for you, and you can also include that in your LinkedIn profile. Okay, you just go to the, let me just think where, sometimes I tend to forget. Okay, you go to the work one, okay, there's learning here. Then you click the learning button. Okay, and then you type, example just now, digital marketing. Okay, example, all right. There's a lot of free courses available that you guys can just take. So the moment you take these particular courses for free, and then you can straight away download the certification. Okay, so that's the tips for you. If let's say you don't have extra income or extra money for you to take all those certification. Okay, take note ya. Semua clear this one? Again, go to your LinkedIn profile, click under work tadi, and then click under learning. Straight away type whatever courses you wanted. There's a lot of courses available. Okay, that is free in LinkedIn. Right? Okay. So once we have learned about know yourself, okay, you know what's the issues happening in the world, and then what's the issues or what we call as standard judgment from the employers about the fresh graduate nowadays. So you know also about your personality. So I hope you can summarize all those later on, okay, in terms of how to know yourself. So now let's move on to how to brand yourself. So now you dah faham you punya character apa the things that you suka, tak suka, and what's the issues happening and so on. Let's learn about how to brand yourself. Okay, first of all, I'll talk about how to maximize your social media. Okay, so either social media ke ataupun you punya resume ke ataupun anything to do with it. Either you punya what we call as email content when it comes to job application. Always remember first tip. Remember who your audience is. Okay. Alright, so how familiar are they with the topic? How familiar are they with the jargons that you're using, especially those from IT, right? The one that is actually shortlisting your CV is not the IT manager, it's the HR. So if let's say you use those like jargons yang macam software yang kita orang tak tahu, example languages, okay? Then you already lose the chance for you to be considered. So if you faham maksud I kan? So example, avoid using acronyms ke and so on. Alright, so and be considerate lah to avoid any miscommunication. Like I said, when it comes to IT, normally if let's say IT is talking to the IT, they ask, what languages? So when they answer, they will say, okay, it's Python, is what. So it's basically, they are talking about the software punya languages when it comes to IT. But bila IT cakap dengan orang biasa yang bukan IT, languages, they will say, oh, I can speak English. I can speak Malay. Okay, so that will be the difference, alright? So do take note when it comes to your CV and so on, use those jargons ataupun acronyms yang people are familiar with, alright? Okay, second one, keep it simple, alright? When it comes to your resume, sometimes fresh graduate, dia ada 4 ke 5 pages of resume and they just talk about certain things and they just write long explanation. You don't need to. When it comes to fresh graduate, I would suggest you only have 1 page of resume. Okay, make sure it's updated, make sure it's hype. Okay, I'll tell you later how. And then if let's say you have anything for you to attach, example your FYP, sometimes I have engineers over here, right? If let's say you want to attach your FYP ke apa ke, you can always put a link in your resume itself. You don't have to attach together. Okay, all right, okay. So the third one, show. Don't just tell. Okay, this is very important. Okay, if let's say there's something that you need to show to them as your attachment ke apa, don't put in writing. Example, when it comes to your email kan, email content, you don't have to put, okay, during my FYP I was given a project blah 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 blah, panjang betul email you. Okay, alright, you tak perlu. What you can do is, like I said, just show something. If let's say you have any attachment for you to show in PowerPoint ke ataupun ada link ke untuk kat certain server ataupun letak paling senang, letak dalam YouTube channel ataupun create a website for them to view your work. If not, just use LinkedIn. Okay, sebab LinkedIn ni dia ada macam-macam benda untuk you buat, untuk you share, untuk you show to people, untuk people comment on you and so on. Okay, alright, so tip number 4 is make it snappy. If let's say you try to explain something complicated, alright, you try not to explain in a paragraph manner, but use bullet point instead. Okay, alright, understand, eh? And then, okay, read it aloud is basically things that you can do. Like example, sometimes there's always grammatical error when it comes to CVs, especially coming from fresh graduate, right? So what you can do is you try and get your friends or maybe your lecturers or maybe anyone, okay, to help to view your CV. To just say, can I have a comment or feedback based on your, based on my CV or based on my email. Always do that, okay? All right, okay. So going back to real thing now, okay? For you to prepare yourself. Now you know yourself, now you have to know how to brand yourself and also prepare yourself for job application, right? So resume, like I said, make it creative and attractive. Only maximum of 2 pages. How to make it creative and attractive? Instead of you letak, biasanya orang letak kan, name, address, number phone. No, you don't type that. What you can do is you use icon. Kan, you ambil email icon, you download. After that, you letak kat CV tu. So it's more attractive and it's more creative instead of you type name and so on. Okay, that's actually part and parcel of the tips that I'm going to give. And please use proper pictures. Okay, when I say proper pictures, sometimes you punya gambar hitam, background you hitam, and then resume you pun you buat colour hitam kat belakang. So it's not really attractive. Try and find the balance when it comes to your resume. Remember, I said 5 seconds rule. So you need to catch that 5 seconds attention. Okay, and please highlight your achievements and also values. Okay, ini tips. For those first class, obviously, that's the first thing that people will see, right, when it comes to your education. So you letak education you kat atas so that people know, okay, they need first class student. For those who second class or third class, don't be shy or don't feel demotivated with it. What you can do is sometimes you are good in your core curriculum activities ataupun you are good in certain things, right? Then you put your achievements dekat atas first. Your education tu you boleh letak kat bawah. Maksudnya when people 5 seconds dulu baca you punya CV, straight away dia akan nampak you punya achievement instead of you punya background dulu. At least they know. Okay? So that's how you can reorganize your resume. Okay? What else? Okay, instead of putting resume, like I said, people know that's actually your resume or your CV can put something or what we call as a pitch yourself. So example, instead of you letak resume, then you gariskan bawah, you can put something like hire me. You know those kind of thing. At least dia macam lain sikit daripada orang lain. So orang macam fikir, okay, dia ni a bit unique because CV dia tak tulis CV, but dia tulis kat situ hire me. Macam tu. Alright? So those are the tips. Okay, profiling. Okay, when it comes to your profiling, if let's say you are a bit confused whether your grammar is correct or not and so on, there's always what we call as artificial intelligence available in Google. Okay, so the first one is basically Grammarly. So you can always download your Grammarly. Right, this is actually the one is actually downloaded. So take note, Grammarly. Okay, when it comes to you writing an email or explaining something, okay, if let's say you're not confident in terms of what kind of things that you should write, whether ada grammar error ke, rephrase error ke, and so on, always use Grammarly. They will help you. So whatever that you have typed in your email, you paste it here, and they will normally give you scores. Okay, and dia akan highlight kat situ mana you kena tukar, mana ayat yang salah and so on. And this thing is also good for you to use in the next 10 years. You want to know why? Once you always buat something with this Grammarly, dia akan cakap kat you mana salah, mana tak. You tend to learn at the same time. So moving forward, example, once you dah familiar dengan this particular Grammarly, and you try and put certain sentences that you dah hantar and you letak kat sini, you will realise that your score has improved. Maybe for the first few months, you punya score is between 50 to 60 or 70. But after a few months, you realise that because you're quite familiar with it already, you will see that your score will go up to 90% or 96%. Okay? Alright, so use this particular Grammarly. Kalau dia punya score is just 60% based on whatever that you have wrote there, try to improve, try to put more words, try to rearrange your sentences and so on until you get at least 80 to 90. Okay, alright? Okay, so tech crowd. What is tech crowd, Liana? I tak faham what is tech crowd. Okay, remember when it comes to any job that you apply, especially bila you tekan and then dia suruh you pergi kat satu site, you kena key in balik you punya username, password, and then attach you punya resume and so on. Itu maksudnya Applicant Tracking System, ATS. Okay, so what is ATS all about from our point of view? Okay, bila you guys apply job street, okay, you guys just rasa, okay, I apply je. I tak tahu macam mana orang kat belakang tu buat. Okay, so orang kat belakang ni pula, bila kita orang post advertisement, we will put there what are the things that we wanted, the keywords, the things that we wanted. So when it comes to 100 applications, the system will straight away filter the top 10 who has the things that we wrote back end, apa yang kita orang nak. So that's what we call as applicant tracking system. So how can you ensure that your CV will be what we say will be shortlisted or will be in the top 10 or top 5? Okay, use tech crowd. Okay, lagi sekali, what is tech crowd? Okay, tech crowd is basically example. You choose one word, okay, especially for those under engineering ataupun IT lah. You got so many like those jargons that's actually not widely used by others. So tech crowd ni is basically they will pull out, okay, example is actually an substitute to the word that you want to use. Okay, so example resume lah, contoh you tekan resume, then you tekan visualize, then they will let you know which are the words that's actually same. Oh my god, okay, sorry. sorry, ada anak kucing yang terkejut. Okay, so which are the words that actually widely used by the rest? Okay, so when it comes to the words that actually widely used by the rest, then you will have the tendency to be considered in the top 10. Okay, contoh bagi senang, instead of you letak computer science or you letak something else lah, okay, but because of the tech crowd, they suggest you to use this particular word as a substitute. So when you use that word, then you have a high chances to be considered as a top 10. That's what I meant. Okay, so bila dah buat resume tu, okay, try to find the keywords, apa yang you rasa, okay, ni maybe boleh check kot dekat tech crowd, apa yang normally words used by Google punya LinkedIn ataupun Google punya anything that's actually AI. Okay, so from there you know, right? So I patutnya kena explain lebih tapi we don't have the time kan. So I hope you guys just get the gist of it lah. Okay. Platform. Okay. We do not just have Jobs Malaysia ataupun Jobs Street. Try to explore. This is what we call a search engine. Okay. What or how or where can you apply for job? Not just Jobs Street, not just LinkedIn. Try to explore more. Okay. We have Jobs Street, we have Jobs DB, Jobs Malaysia. We even have Fast Job. Okay, Fast Job is basically from the government. They wanted to help the fresh graduates and so on. Do look through Fast Job as well, what we call as Penjana Kerjaya. Okay, and then we also have like Talent Corp. We also have Gulf Talent. Okay, again, if let's say you think that Malaysia punya opportunity is very less, try and explore other countries as well. Okay, so Gulf Talent is basically for engineers. This is where you can get the opportunity to work in Middle East, right? And they like to hire Malaysians over there. Okay, and then we also have Indeed, Monsters. Try to explore more. Okay, and then how can you also apply for a role or ask for vacancies? Not just via search and then engine. we also have like you Talent can also Corp, use you your also have network. Gulf Talent. Network again, can be if let's say you think that Malaysia you try punya and add more opportunity people. Example, is if let's say very you less, ada practical before try and dengan explore your other ex-colleagues countries atau as well. ex-bosses. Okay, so add Gulf them in Talent is LinkedIn. basically so from for there you can engineers. grow This your is where network. you can get LinkedIn is opportunity to work in something Middle very East, specialized, right? And they like to hire Kalau you Malaysians over setakat there. ada LinkedIn, Okay, tapi and then we tak also have Indeed, Monsters. expand Try to punya explore network, meaning more. to say you Okay, tak add orang and tu, then tak add how orang can ni, okay, then the how can possibility you of also people apply for to a role or realize ask your for CV vacancies, or your not CV just to be considered. And then we is also very, have like very you can minimal. also use Okay, your network. So grow your network. Okay, If let's say you think that today you have Malaysia try and punya add more people. opportunity Example, is very let's say you ada less. practical Try before and dengan your explore ex-colleagues as well. ex-bosses. Okay, So Gulf Talent is so whoever from there you that can actually this is see where my you can get LinkedIn opportunities. Sometimes can see you as a suggestion friends to add in LinkedIn. Okay, who knows, it might be your luck, especially for me because I'm coming from recruitment area. Obviously, all my connections are all those employers. Okay, all right. So second one, family and friends. Don't think that they don't contribute towards your success or towards your platform to find a job. What you can do is example, keluar cakap dengan jiran ke atau family members ke, just cakap je, oh by the way, I'm graduating soon. I'm actually looking around and looking for jobs. So who knows, okay, remember I said nowadays company, they need to save cost kan. So sometimes they don't even advertise the vacancies in search engine. So how can you apply? So usually they will just tell their staff, okay, by the way guys, we have this particular vacancy. Whoever knows anyone that's actually fresh graduate, do send their CVs to us. So when, example, you tengah cakap dengan jiran you kan, so besok jiran you masuk office, jiran you terfikir, jiran I baru grad lah, anak jiran I dia cakap dengan I semalam, nanti I bagi CV dia dekat you macam tu. So you nampak tak, that's how you can get a job. Okay, so others will be like I said, attend those career fairs and then do look out for Protege. Protege is actually a program. Okay, it's easily for you to get a job lah for contract. And then we also have vacancies under what we call as Asian Banking School, FSTEP, Penjana Kerjaya, like I mentioned. And then another way is go to company website. Okay, example you nak join salah satu company you nak sangat, just go to their website. In any company website, normally they have this particular thing called as career. Okay. Okay, let me just draw ours lah, so it's easier for you. Okay. Not just FWD, any company, you tekan lah RHB ke, CIMB Bank ke, or whichever company that you wanted to join, there's always a button called as career ataupun join us. So you send your CV there or you apply from there. Okay. Alright, example here, see, straight away. Okay, try and find that particular email mailbox, and it's always about careers. So example, previously I was working in a bank, we have our customer punya email. So there's a lot of applications coming from customer punya email. So that's not really good. It shows that you don't understand or you don't know how to look for a job. Okay, so that is basically on the platforms. How can you get a job? Okay, another way, if let's say you have LinkedIn, okay, example, all right. what you can do is you try and search. So can anyone just let me know which company is actually your dream company to work with so that I can show a real life example. How can you reach out to the recruiters directly? Anyone? Ada tak? Sebut je company apa you nak sangat kerja. Faster guys.
Great Eastern.
Okay, Great Eastern. Example you nak kerja dekat Great Eastern. You type Great Eastern. Okay. You will realise that you boleh nampak straight away few people that is actually working in Great Eastern. So remember I said be extraordinary. Okay, challenge yourself. Don't be shy to approach. So straight away, I think because of I punya HR kan. Okay, what we can do is you just search all people result. Okay. After that, you just choose, you boleh tekan filter ataupun you just boleh choose siapa yang berkenaan dengan HR ataupun recruitment. So you know already, here you can see head of retail. So you shouldn't connect or add them because they are not the HR, right? So kalau HR pun kita ada banyak area. Ada recruitment, ada talent acquisition, which is the same lah, recruitment ataupun talent acquisition. Kita ada payroll, kita ada banyak macam. So you need to look, for example, talent acquisition, you know that this person is the recruiter from Great Eastern. HR business partner, not a recruiter. Talent acquisition, yes, it's a recruiter. So what you can do is don't be shy, connect with them. Okay, instead of you tekan connect, at least when it comes to connect, you ada something yang personalized note. Okay, this is very important. Don't just add people, okay, banyak-banyak, but put a note. Example, hi, I saw that you are from Great Eastern, from HR department. Please take note that it's my dream to work with Great Eastern and I'm going to graduate soon in the next 2 months. So appreciate if let's say you can consider my CV or put my CV in your talent pool. Okay, you nampak tak? So bayangkan kalau orang lain dia apply kat JobStreet. Mandy ni tak tahu pun siapa diorang, right? And maybe tak consider pun. But because of you reach out to her directly and you also dia pun tahu yang you bukan setakat apply je, but it's actually you really wanted to work with Great Eastern. So you have the high chances of you to be considered. So it can also be example already applied in JobStreet. So later on dia ni akan pergi kat JobStreet and look for your name and read your CV instead of just read it for 5 seconds. So that's basically the tips. Take note So very easy. The moment you click the company yang you nak kerja, after that you just look for those from HR. Okay. Kalau you nak lagi terror lagi lah. Okay. Kalau you nak lagi terror lagi, you terus approach orang yang contoh you nak kerja in actuarial department, right? Cari je dekat search all people tadi yang actuarial department. So you can also approach them. And not just because of job vacancies, but you can also ask for advice. Okay. Alright. So digital wise, like I said, nowadays it's all via digital, right? Try to prepare a video resume and upload in your social media. Okay, that's the very best way lah. Example, the rest can just give a traditional resume, but for yourself, you have additional example. You put a link. If let's say you want to see my video resume, please click here or they can just copy paste the link. So you buatlah dia punya own YouTube channel that has your video resume. So there's a lot of samples and so on for video resume. Okay, don't make it more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes is basically the max. At least you talk about yourself and so on. So you have high chances compared to those that tak ada video resume. Okay? Alright, so what's next? What you need to do is basically, you need to prepare your job hunting list. Jangan apply semua, like I said. And then read the JD. Okay, JD is basically job description. When it comes to any vacancies, there's always job of description. And take note, yeah guys, one resume does not fit all. That's very important. When I said does not fit all, meaning to say kalau you apply for role A, you baca dia punya JD, you nampak dia punya keyword apa dia nak. Okay. Alright, contoh actuarial lah, you have like professional papers kan. Okay. So instead of you just put that you pass 3 or 5 professional papers, kalau dalam JD tu itself tunjuk dia nak tengok you punya FPA example, then you change you punya JD. You letak kat situ professional papers, you sebut siap-siap FPA ke apa ke. So that, remember we always talk about the applicant tracking system. When it comes to the JD, like I said, they always have the thing that the recruiter put behind. So the moment you read the JD, you put the same thing in your JD, then you have the high chances to be considered in the top 10. Okay, so like I said, one resume does not fit all. Try and change your resume based on the JD or the job that you are applying. Okay, and then prepare yourself for interview. And also, like I mentioned earlier, get LinkedIn Learning Cert or Professional Cert. So sometimes, like I said lah, for now kan, bila you graduate, tak dapat kerja lagi lah Liana, what can I do? What can I add? And so on. Always go to all those free courses under LinkedIn. Okay, learn. Always keep on learning. Even myself at this age, I'm also still learning. Okay, alright. So interview tips. We couldn't do this particular exercise because of the limitation of our time, but I'm just going to give you a summary. When it comes to interview session, this is where we learn about how can you really prepare for interview session, right? These three are the main thing that you need to always have behind your mind. First, your vocal inflection. Vocal inflection is basically kalau ada exercise lah, kan? This is what we call as vocal inflection. When you say something, sometimes your face does not show it. Example lah, okay? What's your strength? You will say, I'm very confident. You nampak tak? You punya vocal inflection tu lain dengan my strength will be, I'm very confident. Okay, compared to just now, I'm very confident. You nampak tak? So your vocal inflection must be correct when it comes to face-to-face or virtual interview session. Okay, so kalau kita ada masa, normally I'll go through you guys this exercise. I just get one of you to just mention the statement and then yang lain boleh bagi comment whether do you feel that particular vocal inflection ke tak. Okay, so that is on the vocal inflection. Second is basically talking about the gestures and voice. Don't be a robot in that particular interview session. Duduk straight, takut macam tu. And some of you ada juga yang nervous, ambil pen, keep on pusing pen tu. So try and maintain your gestures and voice. Okay, when I say maintain your gestures and voice, instead of you cakap macam biasa, you ada sikit macam tangan punya movement ke apa. Alright? Okay, clear ya? Okay, the third one is basically what we call as eye contact. So eye contact is very important. There will be training sessions if let's say we have the time so that you understand where I'm coming from. But like I said, today I'm just going to give on a summary point of view or helicopter view. Okay, when it comes to the audience, you will have 3 interviewers ataupun paling common pun 2. Okay. Most of you guys tend to just look at one person. Whoever asks that question, bila you reply, you look at that person. You shouldn't do that. You have to ensure that you cover everyone. Meaning to say, not just everyone, but you have to make an eye contact. So example, kalau seorang tu tanya you soalan, dia duduk belah kanan kan. Okay, when you answer, you also look at them. But for the rest, you also need to acknowledge them. Orang kedua, orang ketiga, and try to nod. And you will realize that they try to nod as well. So they know that you are making eye contact with them and they also understand what are you talking about. Okay, all right, lock your audience. Remember, yeah, once you have the eye contact, lock your audience. Okay, all right, so interview preparation. Okay, when it comes to question, okay, fresh graduate normally kita orang tak banyak sangat tanya because you don't have the experience, correct? So we like to ask questions like, what's your passion? What's your, how to say? Your dream, or where do you see yourself in 5 years later? Ataupun tell me about your projects. Normally that's how they ask questions, right? So usually fresh graduate, bila dia jawab, contohnya, tell me about your FYP project. You just say that, oh, FYP I buat masa semester final. You buat macam tu je, instead of you explain. So now I need you guys to learn. When it comes to any interview session, when it comes to your answers, the way you answer, always have this at the back of your mind. It's always about STAR. First, S, situation. Explain the situation first. Second, explain what is the task. Third, explain what is the action. And fourth, explain what's the result. So that the recruiter will have the overall view of your FYP. Example, share me about FYP. The way you answer in STAR, okay, our FYP is basically a group project. So you explain the situation. So when it comes to the group project, I was tasked to lead the team. So that's basically the task, right? So what's your action on the FYP? So you continue lah. Meaning to say, recruiter tu takkan tanya you what situation, what's the task, what's the action, takkan. But in their interviewer feedback form, they will have that. They will say that this person just give the direct answer instead of giving the complete answer. So when you answer again, okay, FYP group project, I was tasked to lead the team and I divide the things with the team, and in the end, I'm the one who compile every single thing and put it in the PowerPoint presentation. And during the presentation, this is talking about the result, ya. You jangan habiskan kat situ je. The result during the presentation, we scored well, and even the lecturer gave us a good remarks because of this, and that. So when you answer in that manner, the recruiter will feel that, okay, this guy is very good or this girl is very good. They give me all the answers that I wanted. Okay, all right. Okay, okay, ada sample. So since we have the time, organizer just let me know once I need to stop. Since we have the time, let's just see the example of, example of STAR concept and juga bukan yang STAR concept.
Miss Liana, we can hear the
Sorry. Wait,
audio.
Okay, can. I think I forgot to click on something. Wait, yeah, guys. Let me just
Alright.
include the sound. Okay, can you hear now?
Yes.
Without the star concept, you guys will listen to it. It's without the star concept. Sorry, guys. Let me just.
Let's watch Emily answer this question.
Tell me about a situation when you demonstrated leadership.
Aside from my example about my strength in terms of sort of taking control in an academic setting, if I'm working with a group or something, I don't think I can really think of an example of me being a leader. I don't think I have much leadership experience.
Maybe you can give me an example of a situation in a student organization or a club where you have a position that you're responsible for certain things, or any kind of leadership example in maybe outside of the academic setting?
I think so. I guess when I work at the Tartan, I am in charge of my own article, but then I also sort of help everyone else with the stuff that they're doing, and I sort of help them think of interesting things that they can do or things like that. But I don't really know if that's technically leadership. It's more just being helpful. I think I consider myself more of, in terms of groups and clubs and things, I like to just sort of like work as a group and work together on things and see how that works out.
Although Emily wasn't able to come up with an example here, she probably shouldn't have said, I really don't have any leadership experience. Emily could have done a couple of things. One, she could have restated the question, or she could have asked for a few seconds to gather her thoughts. This is a perfectly acceptable strategy for when you get stuck answering an interview question. Let's see Emily answer this question one more time.
Can you tell me about a situation in which you demonstrated leadership?
Yes, so as an RA or a resident assistant, I am in charge of an entire floor of students, which at times can be very overwhelming, but at other times it's really fun and I love to work with them. And I always think that there are two parts of being an RA. On the one hand, you have to sort of be the cop. And even though I really like to try and play good cop, sometimes you have to get tough. And that's just making sure that your residents are feeling safe and following university protocol and making good decisions. The most rewarding part of the job, I think, is making students feel comfortable and happy with where they're living and feel like they fit sort of like a puzzle piece, the last puzzle piece into the puzzle. So this year I got to know all my residents, and I found out that a lot of them are global studies majors, which is really cool because that would be my major of choice if I wasn't already a professional writing major. But so I got together with a bunch of the other RAs, and we decided that it would be great if we could get together a program called Current Event Chats. And that is where weekly the other RAs and I get together and we sort of look at what happened during the week. And then I create a forum and we figure out what we want to discuss, sort of where we want the conversation to go. And then it's my job to do all the marketing and get everyone excited about that week's current event. So it's really fun because I like to have the students come down. We actually had the most student attendance for that program. And I think everyone is very jazzed about it. So it's really wonderful.
Emily starts off strong in this answer by talking about an example when she was a resident assistant. Although this can be challenging at times, she really focuses on the positives and gives a lot of examples on how she had success in this situation. Emily maintained her professionalism, but as you could see, she really seemed to be herself here. Next, let's look at Emily answer, tell me about a time when you failed.
Okay, that's about it. So that's basically the sample of the star concept and also the unstar concept, okay? So I'm just going to end the slides now, right? Because it's almost 10:20. So let's just open a Q&A session. On the floor.
All right. Okay. Thank you Thank you for such an informative session, Ms. Liana. Hopefully, everyone present can utilize the information throughout the session for their future self. Next, we will proceed to Q&A session. All participants are free to ask your question verbally or leave it in the chat box. Participants also can drop your inquiries anonymously at slido.com. The link and code to the websites are provided in the chat box.
Okay, Ken. So thank you for sharing the slides. Okay, first of all, how to avoid overclaiming your skills. Okay, this is very important. That's why I say, if let's say you have certain skills that's actually you're good at, try and do all the available tests in online or LinkedIn Learning. Okay, LinkedIn Learning also has a test. So that one can, however, support your skills to say that you're actually good in this and that instead of overclaiming. Second one, how we know that we already have the soft skills or not. If we do, how to convince people around ourselves so that we do have. Okay, so if let's say you want to know whether you have that kind of soft skills or not, again, like I said, there's no one can say whether you have it or not unless you test it yourself. Okay, same answer to the first one. Go to any either LinkedIn Learning or any test that's actually available in Google engine and try to do it. Okay, and how to convince people around us. Okay, so if let's say you want to convince, if let's say you don't have certification for you to convince, you can always give an example of what you have done. Okay, using the STAR concept lah, like I mentioned. Okay, during my FYP, I need to do a video. So when I did the video, I don't have even any knowledge, but I learned something. So I use this software, that software. By letting the interviewer knows, they would know already that you have that kind of skills. Okay, which social media that we need to involve more, and we need to put our social media account in our resume. Okay, so social media, utilize your social media to the max. Example, instead of you follow all the artists here and there, okay, feel free to do so, but do take note that every organization also they have their social media account. Okay, do follow them first. Kalau diorang biasanya akan advertise untuk vacancies, at the same time kalau diorang tak advertise pun, you boleh tengok diorang ada certain words yang diorang selalu guna. Itu maksudnya diorang punya culture. So example, contohnya lah, satu company ni dia selalu buat CSR kan. So when it comes to your interview session ataupun you punya resume, you letak semua you punya CSR ataupun you share with them your CSR. So from there they know that you are aligned or this is the culture that we wanted. Okay, alright, so follow their social media. So which social media account in our resume? Usually use the professional one, which is LinkedIn. Alright, okay, just want to, okay, so this one. Okay, done. Just want to ask which personality suited is, okay, which personality suited each other in terms of friendship or relationship. Okay, basically, you can just ngam with anyone, but like I said, when it comes to the working style, lion and owl cannot work in a proper manner compared to the rest. Okay, for relationship, if they say talking about personal, then I leave it to you guys lah. Okay, all right. So what type of work will suit each type of personality? Okay, like I said, it's not your personality that suits certain work. Nothing. It's just that how you carry yourself or how you manage your emotional intelligence. So example, you know the fact that this particular job requires numbers. Okay, so if let's say you're coming from a Peacock personality, you don't really like to look at numbers, you think it's leceh and so on, then basically you know that you shouldn't apply for that particular role. So that will be the senang punya example lah. But like I said, when it comes to the job, in any job that you do, the moment you master your emotional intelligence, you can just do whatever you wanted to do and you can shine. All right. So what is the best? What about what are your strengths? Okay. So when it comes to people asking you what are your strengths and also areas of improvement, the best answer will be, like I said, answer in a STAR concept. Don't just say that I have a good leadership. No. Okay, give example. Okay, my strength will be leadership, team player, and also collaboration. Why I said so is because of example, when it comes to the collaboration, when it comes to any project works and together, I always contribute and so on. Give example. So that's basically what you need to do. Okay, or if not, the best is my strength will be this one, and this is also supported based on the personality test that I've conducted. You can also say that. Okay, so what else can you do? Sorry. Okay, training protege. Can you explain more? Okay, so trainee and protege basically is actually a contract role for you to learn more and for the company to give you on-job training. So do take the opportunity. Example that protege is basically a slim program. Kalau you guys familiar dulu kan. So memang every company akan reach out for protege because they need more people now, but they don't afford to hire them as permanent, correct? So they hire them as contract. So just take the job. So yeah. Does having many part-time jobs are important as a grade at the marks? Okay, frankly speaking, depending on your part-time jobs. Okay, part-time and also okay, part-time is more like you kerja dekat McDonald's, you kerja dekat Isetan and so on. It's not your contract job. So if let's say you ask me, it's not really important to put in your CV, but you can explain that during your interview session. Example, I have a high people personality. Why? Because of my previous past part-time job where I need to serve people and so on. So that's how you justify apa you cakap. Okay? Alright? So tak payah letak dalam resume. Kalau McDonald ke kerja-kerja yang part-time yang RM4 per hour jangan letak. But if let's say it's a contract job, example 1 month ke 2 months ke ataupun internship, then you can put. Usually I have my resume name as resume Fatimah. Okay, so kalau you nak rename the file, I would say you can just put example lah. You can always put resume Fatimah binti Abdullah, but you are the only one who knows that one is for which application. So when you apply, you can just put resume. But in your record, in your document folder, you put lah. This one is basically version 1 ke, version 2 ke, macam tu. Okay, alright. Okay. Anyone else would like to ask question? I will also get my team to share our career mailbox. We also hire protege, trainee, internship, and also FSTEP, as well as digital graduate program. So I'll put our career mailbox. So feel free to send your profiles to our career mailbox. And we do hire a few of USIM students lah before. Some of them are even now as a permanent staff in our company. Okay, all right. Okay, anyone else? If let's say you don't want to put in Slido, you can always unmute yourself and also ask questions.
Question.
Question?
From your POV, what do you think if I oversell myself or exaggerate on my personality during interviews?
Okay. It depends on whoever actually interviewing you, and also it depends on the role itself. Like I said, if let's say you apply for a marketing role or business development role or sales role, right? They will like those kind of personality whereby they are very enthusiastic and oversell and so on. But if let's say you want to make it more serious, you can always oversell yourself, but always have some backup to justify whatever that you are saying. So it will not look like you are overselling, but it's actually based on facts, based on your certificate, based on the comments. Okay, a simple example lah. When people ask about your strength, you can always say that this has also agreed by my previous superior when we talk about our performance. Macam tu. Okay. So ataupun kalau you nak lagi senang, okay, based on my opinion, my strength is this and that. But this is also supported by the people who work with me before. They also give me the same feedback. So from there, you know already, it's really justified. Okay? Okay, anyone else? Okay. So if let's say there's no more questions, thank you so much, students, for tuning in. Okay, thank you so much for listening to whatever that I've shared before. If let's say you guys would like us to review your CV or review your LinkedIn profile, how to make a good LinkedIn profile, what are the things missing and so on, just feel free to connect with us and we will give you the free advice. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.